Alright everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So here we are in good old Lava Reef Zone. Oops. Beginning of the end of the entire game, as I like to think of it. This is really the last, quote, normal act you're going to find. Everything else is going to have some kind of weird gimmick to it. It's also the last... well, I have one more normal act, I guess. But, up until that... So, unfortunately, it's not really a darn thing to know about this particular act either. There's a pretty darn huge glitch you can do at one point that involves being able to go through the floor and whatnot, and then crashing the game, going to level scroll back, which basically just means going places you're not supposed to be where everything's all glitchy. Ultimately crashing the game, changing the video mode, and being able to play as Knuckles with Sonic's palette and Tails' name. And Knuckles' event flags. But, anywho. So, I haven't been talking about the darn level itself. As you can probably guess, the best thing to have here is a fire shield. As you can see right here. Thankfully. Of course, the best substitute for a fire shield is just going hyper. But... we'll take what we can get. Okay. Blah. Never mind, electric shield. Yeah. You are invincible to probably at least half of the hazards, if not more, in this level if you have a fire shield. Thankfully, they're not terribly rare in this place, but... not exactly going to be finding them around every corner. Oh crap. I don't know why it is I like the... what are these called? Not special stages. Bonus stage, or whatever they're called. I don't know why I like the music for these stages so darn much. Oh wow. Points. Points to be had. Oh wait! Oh, I didn't run away. Anyways. Well, I'll just wait until this shield is broken and then I'll go ahead and... go hyper. Okay, so something interesting actually about this particular level. There are ring rooms here, giant rings, but not many at all actually. And it was originally planned, god damn it, where from these little tractor things, whatever you want to call them, that you roll in, you could actually get to the rooms from there. I can't get back up there, that's nice. And it's still kind of possible, but the holes are pretty much way too small for you to actually fit through. But the rooms exist, but there aren't any actual rings in them, which is kind of weird. I don't know why it was eventually abandoned. Screw you. I think those exploding eyes still hurt you if you have a fire shield, not that it really matters, because it takes so darn long to actually hit you. Yeah. All in all, if you know your way around, it's a pretty short act, I think. Lava Reef Zone, Act 1. Both acts, actually, but Act 1 in particular. Actually, I think so you take the lore right here, that you can access that big glitch I was talking about, but I'm not interested in showing that off, because what would end up happening is I just have to sit down there fast-forwarding up until time ran out, and that wouldn't be fun to watch, would it be? Yeah. So yeah, like I said, there's still giant rings in here. Which means being hyper is not terribly difficult to pull off. Just make sure you don't get crushed by things, because towards the end of the first act, there are a lot of things that like to crush you. Towards the end of the second act, too, actually, if I remember correctly. Being crushed is not exactly something to think of as uncommon here. So much. It is a legitimate threat. Now, something that always bugged me here. There is a giant ring right up. Oops, what? Okay. Right up. Oh, darn it. Just so I don't accidentally hit. Right up through here, as you can kind of see. There we go. Actually, you can see the ring room, or the ring, right there. But you can't actually hit it as Sonic, which ticks me off. I believe you can only get it as Tails. I've heard you can also get it as Knuckles. Oh god. You bloody... Okay, never mind. I've heard that you can also get it as Knuckles, I have no idea how. But that ring up there has been the bane of my existence. Whoa, no! Okay. I just don't want to get all these rings thrown out the window. Whoa! What kind of jump was that? Yay. Why is everything yellow? Anyway. Onwards! One thing that does disappoint about being hyper is that... Oh, I don't have a shield. One thing that does disappoint me about being hyper is that... Or super, for that matter. You don't get to listen to the wonderful... Oh, yes! I can attract rings now. You don't get to listen to the ever so wonderful... I'm just gonna stay down here. What is it? Well, just the music for each zone. Because you're listening to Mitsubishi music instead. I actually want to explain those little fog enemies that you might have noticed. They're just big pipe and they emit some kind of weird fog. If you go into that fog, it slows you down, these things. There you go. See, it even slows down Hypersonic. It'll slow you down, but I think jumping or spin dashing will just make it stop having any kind of effect on you. It's not something to be worried about. Onwards! I really do want to be careful about not being crushed. Towards the end of the game, you really stop becoming so speed-obsessed, or at least I do. And I can become a lot more cautious about not getting my ass kicked by things trying to crush me. Yeah, there we go. The key is just to, spin dash. Anyways, time for a really boring boss. See, this is a hand. Just jump when the hand's about to go down, and then hit it. Of course, me being hyper, I don't have to worry about anything. I can just stand here. Boom! Well, Tails takes issue with it, I guess, but I don't. Boom! And I'm guessing I'm not going to get an item from this. Oh, look at you. Fire shield, no less. That's exactly why I want a place like this. Maybe. I don't know if I would prefer that or a lightning shield, actually. It's only very different music. Very different tone. Well, there's actually a fire shield I would have gone on here anyways. If you, at the very beginning of this act, if you head on up here, there's, right here, there's a fire shield. Anyhow. And ultimately that just loops back down to right here, so... It's not really a big branch or anything like that. It just reconvenes with the main path right here. Okay, so either that explosion didn't hurt me, or it just wasn't in my range. The one thing I hate about Tails is how he'll hit things that you don't want to get hit. Like those Robotnik boxes right there, or Robotnik monitors. And I'm not familiar with that route actually, so I'm going to stick down here. Because I know where a good number of rings are down here. Particularly a giant ring and some ring monitors. Tails, what the hell are you doing? No, what? I didn't know I could still hurt you, actually. I thought you were completely impervious to those enemies. At least their bodies. Bounce, for some reason. Yay! I do not know if I'll actually go hyper. Fine. I know where well, yeah, I know, like I was saying, I know where lots of rings are here. Kind of. I know where electric shield is later, so shouldn't have to worry much. I don't have enough rings to go super now. Well, now I do. Bonk. More bonk. Fire shield will also be appreciated. Man, I can't wait until I start up in Knuckles playthrough actually, because everything's like kind of gotten repetitive with Sonic. All these special stages going the same way, although it's pretty interesting with Knuckles and Tails. Won't be playing through his Tails, but I'll be explaining some stuff with him, like how stuff is different with him, as well as some design oversights with him in certain levels, as well as his overall playstyle. But I don't know if I ever actually really explained the whole two-player thing with Tails. You'll see about that. Anyhow. See, now I have plenty of rings. See, that's why people love that particular, whoops. That's why people love that particular... No. Screw that. Screw platforming. That's why people love that particular bonus stage, extra stage. I wonder what those are called. Whoa, no! Because you get there's at least a potential for you to get so many darn rings. It's just easy. You don't risk losing things like you do with other stuff. Alright, here we are. These things are cool. More sprites, there are only used once. Anyways, you go left here. Well, for one, you get Fire Shell, I guess. You also get a giant ring. Giant rings happen to have a lot of rings in them. Meaning I'm once again at 200 rings. I do like how they make it so that you have an extra life every time you break another 100 rings. It was only the first 100, like most games do when it comes to 100 things. It would be disappointing, to say the least, I guess. That's really all I can think to say about it. Anyways, right here. Yeah. By the way, right here, this slope, don't roll on it. You get stuck eternally. Not a happy day. This song is so old. Is this where I think it is? No, it's not. Cybersonic just breaks everything so much, because he effectively flies. Shit! Into a pit. Oh, it's not where I thought it was. Crap. This is late into the... Really? This is late into the zone, too, so it's a bad place to... have to redo things. A bad place to have to restart. I don't think that was the last checkpoint. so I might be able to amass 50 rings from the next checkpoint if I get enough rings leading up to that checkpoint, but we'll have to see. Damn it. Yeah, I was trying to jump onto this thing, but I fell, I guess. Look at that big-ass death egg. Oh, crap. Sometimes this cutscene won't load properly if you just jump up here as hypersonic action, which is kind of funny. But he even managed to knock you out of hyper form with that boulder for some reason. So, whatever. Oh god. Well, I can get plenty of rings here. And in fact, being hyper pretty much just makes this part harder. Because your acceleration is so friggin'... Screw you too, game. Yeah, I literally lost myself on the screen. But being hyper just makes this part harder, actually. Oh, crap! That's where I am. Because your acceleration is so friggin' high, it makes the platforming harder. And like you saw there, screw up the platform can mean instant death in this particular section. I like this, though. It's something a little bit different. So you just finding a boss and killing it, you actually have to run and whatnot, which is kind of something that happens to be popular among the Sonic fanbase. It's also... Damn it! I hate it when I try to get that checkpoint and then that happens. Thankfully, you can actually amass a ton of rings on the way down right here. Is it actually 50? I don't know. That's a lot. By the way, there's a fire shield here, which helps a crap load. Yeah, not enough rings, but a lot of rings. Well, I guess I'll make this boss fight slightly less boring. This is... Both of the boss fights for Lava Reef Zone, I think, are incredibly boring. Because both of them actually require very little action on your part. And you have to jump across the platforms if you don't have a fire shield or if you're not super hyper. But then you're just doing something really tedious and repetitive. And if you're super hyper, all you have to do is stand there. You really don't have to do anything to win. Whereas with this, if I have a fire shield, at least I need to not be touching Robotnik. Whether that means much of anything. So the lead up to this boss is really nice, I think. Well, kind of. It's a bit cheap when it comes to killing you, especially with the what you saw with that checkpoint there. But that aside, it is possible with that checkpoint, by the way. It's actually not that hard in actuality. I just screwed it up. This game is also nice enough to instantly knock you out of your super form or hyper form after you finish off this boss. So if you hunt you on the lava when the boss dies, you're gonna get hurt immediately. Anyways, see you guys later.